Most people believe that success comes from being loud, impressive, or endlessly talented. They believe it belongs to those who speak the most, show the most, demand attention, or force their way forward. They think being remembered is about being seen. That is the myth, and it quietly ruins more potential than failure ever could. Because the truth is not flashy, it is calm, it is simple, and it is uncomfortable to accept. People are not remembered for how much noise they make. They are remembered for how they make others feel when the noise fades. You may have noticed this already. Think of the people who left a mark on your life. Not celebrities, not distant figures, real people. A teacher, a colleague, a stranger you met once. They may not have spoken much, they may not have tried to impress you, but something about them stayed with you long after the moment passed. That is not an accident, it is a skill, and it is a skill very few people master. Most chase recognition, very few earn remembrance. If you master one skill, people will never forget you. Not because you demanded their attention, but because you earned their trust. Not because you tried to stand out, but because you stood steady. This skill does not shout, it listens. It does not rush, it understands. It is the ability to make people feel seen, respected, and safe in your presence. And it begins long before anyone notices you. Real success is quiet on the inside before it is visible on the outside. Think of a tree. You see the branches, you admire the height, you enjoy the shade, but everything that makes the tree strong happens underground. Roots grow in darkness, they push through resistance, they spread slowly, patiently, without applause. If the roots are weak, the tree falls at the first strong wind. If the roots are deep, the tree stands through storms that break others apart. You are no different. The work that makes you unforgettable happens where no one is watching. It happens in how you think when no one is listening, in how you respond when no one is praising you, in how you treat people who cannot offer you anything in return. This inner work is invisible, but it shapes everything. Many people try to polish the surface without strengthening the core. They learn how to speak confidently, but not how to listen deeply. They learn how to present themselves, but not how to understand others. They want influence without empathy, authority without discipline, results without patience. And then they wonder why their impact fades so quickly. Ask yourself this quietly. When people leave a conversation with you, do they feel lighter or heavier, clearer or confused, valued or ignored? You do not need to entertain people to be remembered. You need to understand them, and understanding is not a talent, it is a practice. Opportunity does not arrive randomly. It arrives when preparation meets timing. This is not chance, it is a law. The world does not reward potential, it rewards readiness. You may be capable of much more than your current position shows, but capability without preparation remains hidden, like a locked door without a key. Every meaningful opportunity tests the same thing. Are you ready to show up calmly when others panic? Are you ready to listen when others interrupt? Are you ready to respond instead of react? When preparation is missing, opportunity feels like pressure. When preparation is present, opportunity feels like confirmation. People who are unforgettable are not always the most skilled, but they are the most prepared emotionally. They have trained themselves to stay steady, to pay attention, to respond with care. While others chase speed, they build depth, and depth lasts. Pressure does not create character, it reveals it. When things are easy, everyone looks capable. When things are calm, everyone sounds wise. But when tension rises, patterns emerge. Under pressure, some people rush to protect their image, others rush to protect the truth. Some become defensive, others become curious. Imagine a workplace under stress. A deadline is missed, voices rise, blame moves quickly. One person speaks calmly, not to excuse mistakes, not to accuse, but to understand what happened and what comes next. That person may not be the most senior, but the room shifts toward them. Trust begins to form. Or imagine a family conflict. Emotions are high, old wounds reopen. Most people speak to win. One person listens to understand. They do not deny feelings, they do not escalate, they stay present. That person becomes a point of stability. Others remember that. Pressure reveals whether you are ruled by impulse or guided by principle. People do not forget how you behave when things are hard. They remember who you became in that moment.
Focus is fragile, and yet it is treated carelessly. Distraction is everywhere. Noise competes for your attention constantly. But the ability to focus deeply on another person is rare, and rarity creates value. When you give someone your full attention, you give them something precious. You tell them without words that they matter. Not this half-listening while preparing your reply, not this checking of messages while they speak, but full presence, eye contact, stillness, patience. Protect your focus the way you would protect something valuable, because it is. When you learn to focus on people instead of impressions, conversations change, relationships deepen, trust grows. People feel it immediately, and they remember it. Growth is not a single moment, it is a sequence. Learn, apply, evaluate, correct, persist. Most people stop too early. They learn but do not apply, or they apply but do not evaluate, or they notice mistakes and quit instead of correcting. Mastery is not dramatic, it is repetitive, day after day, quietly. You learn how to listen better. You apply it in conversations. You notice when you interrupt. You correct it. You persist even when progress feels slow. This is how skill becomes identity. Motivation is unreliable. Discipline is steady. Motivation depends on mood. Discipline depends on decision. Systems beat emotions every time. If you wait to feel inspired to improve your character, you will wait forever. Improvement happens when you act despite resistance. Create small systems, simple habits. Pause before speaking. Ask one more question. Listen 1 minute longer than feels comfortable. These are not grand gestures, but they compound. Patience is strategic. It sees beyond the moment. It understands seasons. Some seasons are for planting, some are for growing, some are for harvesting. If you demand results too early, you damage the process. If you abandon effort too soon, you miss the reward. People who leave lasting impressions are not in a hurry to be admired. They are committed to becoming solid. Time works in their favor because they respect it. Feedback is a mirror. Most avoid it. The wise seek it quietly, not to be praised, but to be corrected. Measure yourself honestly. How often do you truly listen? How often do you speak to understand rather than to be right? Quiet correction leads to steady refinement. Momentum is subtle. At first, progress feels slow, almost invisible, but consistency builds force. Small improvements compound into strength. One day, people notice, not because you announced yourself, but because your presence feels different. Breakthrough is not an event, it is a lifestyle, a calm elevation. You do not become unforgettable by trying to be remembered.
You become unforgettable by mastering how you treat people when nothing is at stake. This is the skill, and it is learned slowly, patiently, day after day. You practice it when no one praises you for it. You practice it when the conversation feels ordinary. You practice it when your effort seems unnoticed. That is where it grows, not in dramatic moments, but in common ones. Most people want to be interesting. Very few want to be interested. Yet the second is what creates lasting impact. When you become deeply interested in people, their thoughts, their fears, their struggles, their hopes, something shifts. You stop performing, you start connecting, and connection is remembered long after performance is forgotten. Ask yourself something simple. When someone speaks to you, do you wait for your turn, or do you wait for their meaning? Those are not the same. Waiting for your turn is about you. Waiting for their meaning is about them. One builds ego, the other builds trust. Trust is slow. It does not respond to force. It responds to consistency. People test you quietly. They notice if your attention disappears when they are no longer useful. They notice if your respect changes when your status improves. They notice if your kindness has conditions. Nothing escapes observation for long. This is why inner work matters so much. You cannot fake presence over time. You cannot pretend to care consistently. Eventually, what you truly value becomes visible. That is why this skill is demanding. It requires alignment between who you are alone and who you are with others. There is a law at work here. You influence people most when you are not trying to influence them. When your focus is on understanding, influence follows naturally. When your focus is on winning, influence disappears. People sense intention even when nothing is said. Think about moments when you felt truly heard. Someone gave you space. They did not rush you. They did not minimize your concern. They did not turn the conversation back to themselves. You likely felt calmer, clearer, respected. That feeling stays. That is remembrance. Pressure will test this skill again and again. When stress rises, listening becomes harder. Ego wants control. Fear wants certainty. But this is where mastery shows. In tense moments, slow your response. Breathe. Let the other person finish. Ask yourself what they need, not what you want to say. Consider another real situation. A leader faces criticism. Voices are sharp. Defensiveness would be easy, but instead, the leader listens, not passively, actively. They ask clarifying questions. They acknowledge emotion without surrendering direction. The atmosphere changes. Even those who disagree feel respected. That leader is remembered. Or consider a friendship under strain. One person feels unseen. The other feels accused. Words could escalate quickly, but one pauses. They reflect what they heard. They do not argue the feeling. They seek clarity. The conflict softens. The relationship deepens. That person is remembered.
This skill does not make you weak. It makes you steady. Steadiness is strength. Loudness is not. Distraction is the enemy of this skill. You cannot listen deeply if your mind is scattered. You cannot understand if you are always elsewhere. Protect your attention. Choose fewer conversations, but be fully present in the ones you choose. Quality over quantity always wins. When you speak, let it be deliberate, not rushed, not reactive. Silence is not empty. It creates space, and space invites truth. Many people speak to fill silence. The wise allow silence to do the work. Growth follows a clear pattern. You notice where you fall short. You apply a small correction. You observe the result. You adjust. You repeat. Over time, your behavior changes. Then your identity changes. Then your impact changes. Do not expect instant transformation.
Expect gradual refinement. You will interrupt less. You will judge more slowly. You will ask better questions. You will listen longer. These are quiet victories, but they compound. Discipline sustains this process. Motivation will fade. There will be days when listening feels tiring, when patience feels heavy, when slowing down feels inconvenient. Discipline carries you through those days. Discipline is choosing your values even when your feelings resist. Build simple rules for yourself. Do not speak until the other person finishes. Do not check your phone during conversations. Do not dismiss emotions you do not understand. These rules shape behavior. Behavior shapes reputation. Strategic patience allows results to mature. You may not see immediate changes in how people respond, but stay consistent. Over time, something shifts. People open up more easily. Conversations deepen faster. Trust forms sooner. You become a safe presence. Feedback sharpens this skill. Pay attention to how people respond to you. Do they relax when you speak? Do they share more over time? Do they seek your perspective? These are signals. Adjust quietly where needed. Momentum builds slowly. At first, the effort feels one-sided. You give attention, you offer patience, you hold space. Then, one day, you notice people doing the same for you. Influence returns multiplied. Breakthrough is subtle. You realize that people remember you not for what you achieved, but for how you treated them while you were achieving it. That is the difference between temporary success and lasting respect. You do not need to change who you are. You need to refine how you show up, calmly, consistently, with intention. This is the one skill. Master it, practice it daily, let it shape your presence, and, without trying to be remembered, you will be.